Hello again, I'm attorney Robert Flessis for Robbins & Lloyd Career Training Institute. This is part 3 of course 2, Disciplinary Actions. In this video, we're going to discuss pathways to professionalism. Most of the information that I use in this video is derived from the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics. Even if you're not a realtor but practice real estate, the ethics requirements of the NAR provide a good foundation for everyone in a lot of professions. And you'll see how these principles can actually provide a foundation for good business practices. Let's start with the topic of respect for the public. We've all heard of the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's great guidance. You want to treat people the way that you'd want to be treated. Nobody should dispute that. Well, how would you treat others in the real estate profession? The NAR's Code of Ethics tells us that when someone requests information, you should respond promptly. If you were, say, a prospective buyer and that buyer requested a list of all the available homes that meet their taste and price range, you'd respond promptly, wouldn't you? It could be a potential source for a commission. Now let's say that 2 or 3 people request information from you at the same time. Would you only respond to one because it was the only one that was worth it? You would provide the information to all 3. Why? Because they're all potential customers or clients. When do you schedule showing appointments? At the last minute? The NAR tells us that appointments should be scheduled as far in advance as possible, because that gives the seller time to plan their day and get their home in order for the showing. And that's an easy one. Here's one that applies to any profession or job function. Everyone has had the experience of having a person that's made an appointment with you and they either don't show up or are delayed in their arrival or they have to cancel. You want that person to at least call you to let you know if they're going to cancel or be late. If a prospective buyer decides not to view an occupied home, you should promptly explain the situation to the listing broker or the occupant. You want to communicate with all parties in a timely fashion. When entering a property, ensure that the unexpected situations, such as pets, are handled appropriately. If you're listing a property, you want to point out possible hazards to other agents that will tour your listing so they can in turn let their buyers know what's going on. That's only common courtesy. When you've completed your showing, you should leave your business card if not prohibited by local rules. On the Showing Time app, you should provide feedback on your showing to the listing agent. The listing agent, remember, goes out of their way to make a showing arrangement for you to get you into the house. Show courtesy to the listing agent and provide feedback. They'll appreciate it just as you would. Here's another one. Never criticize a property in the presence of the occupant. Reserve your comments for the listing agent. You always want to inform the occupants that are present during a showing that your showing has been completed and that you're now leaving. When showing an occupied home, always ring the doorbell or knock and announce yourself loudly before entering. Also knock and announce yourself loudly before entering any closed room in a property. That's not only common courtesy, but it's a good idea to be safe and not surprise the occupant. Remember, there are many people who carry guns or have guns available in their home, and they'll use them if they're scared. Always present a professional appearance, dress appropriately, and drive a clean car. There's one point that I'd like to make here. If you're showing properties and you have your client ride along with you in your car, make sure you speak with your auto insurance agent to make sure that you're covered for business pursuits in the event of an accident. It's probably not a good idea, though, to drive people around in your car. If occupants are home during showings, ask their permission before using the phone or bathroom. Encourage the clients of other brokers to direct questions to their agent or representative. Communicate clearly. Don't use jargon or slang that may not be readily understood. Be aware of and respect cultural differences. Show courtesy and respect to everyone. Be aware of and meet all deadlines. Promise only what you can deliver and keep your promises. Identify your realtor and your professional status in context with the public. Don't tell people what you think. Tell them what you know. Be responsible for everyone you allow to enter listed property. Never allow buyers to enter listed property unaccompanied. When showing property, keep all members of the group together. Never allow unaccompanied access to property without permission. Enter property only with permission, even if you have a lockbox key or combination. When the occupant is absent, leave the property as you found it. Lights, heating, cooling, drapes, etc. If you think something is amiss, say there's vandalism, contact the listing broker immediately. Be considerate of the seller's property. Don't allow anyone to eat, drink, smoke, dispose of trash, use bathing or sleeping facilities, or bring pets with them. Leave the house as you found it unless you're instructed otherwise. Did the seller request that you turn off the lights after your showing? Use sidewalks if the weather's bad. Take off your shoes and boots inside properly. Respect the seller's instructions about photographing or videotaping their properties. There's a Wisconsin statute, by the way, that regulates videotaping. Identify your realtor and professional status in all contacts with other realtors. Respond to other agents' calls, faxes, and emails promptly and courteously. Be aware that large electronic files with attachments or lengthy faxes may be a burden on recipients. There are programs available to reduce the size of a file. Adobe provides very good apps to work with PDF files. Notify the listing broker if there appears to be inaccurate information on the listing. Share important information about a property, including the presence of pets, security systems, and whether sellers will be present during the showing. This avoids liability to you and the seller. Show courtesy, trust, and respect to other real estate professionals. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't prospect at other realtors' open houses or similar events. Return keys promptly. Carefully replace keys in the lockbox after showing. When you place keys in the lockbox when you list a property, do you mark them to indicate which lock each key is associated with? To be successful in the business, mutual respect is essential. Real estate is a reputation business. What you do today may affect your reputation and business for years to come. People remember how you interact with them. Now I'm going to read the preamble to the NAR Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice. And I'm going to read this verbatim. Under all is the land. Upon its wise utilization and widely allocated ownership depend the survival and growth of free institution and of our civilization. Realtors should recognize that the interests of the nation and its citizens require the highest and best use of the land and the widest distribution of land ownership. They require the creation of adequate housing, the building of functioning cities, the development of productive industries and farms, and the preservation of a healthful environment. Such interests impose obligations beyond those of ordinary commerce. They impose grave social responsibility and a patriotic duty to which realtors should dedicate themselves and for which they should be diligent in preparing themselves. Realtors, therefore, are zealous to maintain and improve the standards of their calling and share with their fellow realtors a common responsibility for its integrity and its honor. In recognition and appreciation of their obligations to clients, customers, the public, and each other, realtors continuously strive to become and remain informed on issues affecting real estate, and as knowledgeable professionals, they willingly share the fruit of their experience and study with others. They identify and take steps through enforcement of the Code of Ethics and by assisting appropriate regulatory bodies to eliminate practices which may damage the public or which might discredit or bring dishonor to the real estate profession. Realtors having direct personal knowledge of conduct that may violate the Code of Ethics involving misappropriation of client or customer funds or property, willful discrimination, or fraud resulting in substantial economic harm Bring such matters to the attention of the appropriate board or association of realtors. Realizing that cooperation with other real estate professionals promotes the best interests of those who utilize their services, realtors urge exclusive representation of clients. Do not attempt to gain any unfair advantage over their competitors, and refrain from making unsolicited comments about other practitioners. In instances where their opinion is sought or where realtors believe that comment is necessary, their opinion is offered in an objective, professional manner, uninfluenced by any personal motivation or potential advantage or gain. The term realtor has come to connote competency, fairness, and high integrity resulting from adherence to a lofty ideal of moral conduct in business relations. No inducement of profit and no instruction from clients ever can justify departure from this ideal. In the interpretation of this obligation, realtors can take no safer guide than that which has been handed down through the centuries, embodied in the Golden Rule. Accepting this standard as their own, realtors pledge to observe its spirit in all of their activities, whether conducted personally, through associates or others, or via technological means, and to conduct their business in accordance with the tenets set forth below. This concludes part 3 of 4 of course 2, Disciplinary Actions. In the next video, we're going to review this course for the test. I'll see you in the next video.